Hey, what's up Nerdgasm fans? Jerry here, aka Barnacules, and today we're going to be reviewing some in-ear monitors. Now, the cool guys over at Heir Audio sent me these. They're their IEM 8.0s, which are their absolute top-of-the-line professional in-ear monitors. They also sent me their Rendition 1 headphone amplifier, so if you're trying to listen with the IEMs from an audio source or a DAC that doesn't provide sufficient power to give you that volume and punch you need, this amp's got you covered. Now, I'm really excited about this because I've reviewed some really high-end headphones and some really high-end amplifiers, like the WA7 Fireflies I've got sitting on my desk right over here by Woo Audio. I also have a Mayflower Electronics Objective 2 amp, which is a low-priced amp, but packs a huge punch and very, very clean DAC. I absolutely love it. And as far as my headphones, I have really high-end cans like the Sennheiser HD800s, and I have the Hi-Fi Man HE500s, the planar magnetic headphones. So I've been exposed to a broad spectrum of headphones and listening devices and amplifiers, but this is my first in-ear monitor. So let's go ahead and take a look.
This is gonna be fun.
Alright guys, here I have the IEM 8.0s from Heir Audio. They come in like a box like this. You basically just slide out the side, and it's a full-on Pelican case. Now, I don't think it's a Pelican brand case, but it's like a Pelican case. It's got a place for a strap on it, and it's got the two little openings on the front here. And when you open it up, it's got an O-ring seal on it, so you can pretty much dunk it in the water. And it's filled with soft foam to protect your stuff. Now, it comes with a ton of stuff. It comes with a bunch of different pairs of ear cups to basically fit and form a seal to your ear, so it can fit a whole diverse range of ears. Now, all the cups come in 3 different sizes, and you got the blue cups, which are a little bit softer rubber. You've got the red cups, which is a little bit firmer rubber, and then you have the double cups, which are basically just like 2 cups stacked on each other, and I find those are the most comfortable. Now, we pull the IEMs out. I will tell you, I've already opened this box previously because I've been using these IEMs for over 2 weeks now, because I wanted to use them a lot because there was a little bit of a learning curve involved with getting the maximum sound quality out of them, and I'm going to share all those tricks with you during this video. And it also came with these 2 little rubber band things. They kind of look like, you know, like those little bracelets people wear for a cause, but they're a little too small for that. But I think I know what I can use them for. Well, I'll show you that later. It also comes with this itty-bitty cleaning brush that has this little metallic scooper on the end, and that's basically for like cleaning your earwax out of the ports. I know it's disgusting, but somebody's got to do it. All right, now when I first discovered these guys, I looked at the price tag. They're over $1,000, so it's like, oh my god, $1,000 for earbuds? Are you kidding me? So naturally, I had to see what was going on. The first thing I discovered is these are not earbuds. There is a difference. Earbuds are like what you put in your ear down, connect to your iPod. You know, usually got one speaker driver inside of them. The sound quality is usually for listening to music, not monitoring music. The difference with these is each one of these little earpieces has 8 speakers in it. Yeah, I said 8 speakers. I have no idea how they can fit that in there, but it's got 2 bass drivers, 2 mid drivers, 2 treble drivers, and 2 ultra high treble drivers. And it's got a 4-way crossover in each ear too that basically splits the audio spectrum, so each, you know, pair of and I should say they're matched drivers, each one of them take care of the sound range that they're best suited to produce. So that way you get the most balanced sound throughout the entire spectrum. And I'll tell you right now, it's a pretty amazing experience. Now, if I take off the little ear cup that forms the seal and you look at it, it's got 3 little ports on the bottom. Now, on the website, they advertise it as a dual port, but it has 3 little ports, so I'm inclined to think that it's a 3-port. Now, another really cool feature of these guys is they have a detachable cable on them. You can actually take them off, and the cables are marked right and left on the end of the connector, so you plug them into the right IEM. And they also have a plastic thing that goes up over your ear right here, and the cable on it is basically braided and it's Kevlar reinforced, so it is a super high-end cable. The wire inside the cable is a silver coated copper, so this is not a cheap cable. Just the cable alone for this thing's a few $100. And on the end, the connector where it plugs in, it actually has a stress relief on it, so you don't have to risk yanking the cable and breaking it out of the connector. Now, since this was my first pair of IEMs, there was a little bit of a learning curve, especially putting them on and figuring out which ear they went into. Well, it was easy enough to figure out once I discovered the left and right, but figuring out the orientation, they are a little bizarre. So basically, you go up over the top of your ear and you insert it. But the trick is you have to insert it enough that it forms a seal. And you'll know when it forms a seal because it basically becomes like an earplug. It drowns out the room's noise. But you don't want to push it in too far, because if you push too hard and push it in too far, it becomes very uncomfortable. So you just go ahead and work it into your ear. You can even twist it a little bit, just until boom, you'll know it. You'll feel the sound change in your ear canal. And it's very, very comfortable if you do it right. If it's uncomfortable, you're doing it wrong. Try a little trick that I found, and that is pull the little ear cup plastic piece to where it's about halfway off. It's basically, when you look in there, it's recessed in there. And then put it over your ear, and then start to work it in, but just slowly push it in. Just a little bit, twist it, twist it, and twist it until it's nice and comfy. You don't want it to feel like it's sucking your brains out. If you did that, it's probably going to become uncomfortable. Also, some other noteworthy features, each one of the IEMs has a little code, and it's either red or blue depending on which side IEM it is, and it has a number on it, and that number identifies it uniquely to the purchaser. So if you ever lose them and somebody's honest about it and contacts Heir Audio, you can actually figure out where they went and be reunited with them. Because with something this expensive, you'd be pretty sad if you left this on the bus. It'll also make it easy to prevent them from being stolen and sold on like eBay and Craigslist and stuff like that, because you can get the number off of them and then report them stolen if they do come up in one of those forums. Another thing to note is the cable is incredibly lightweight. You don't even notice you have it on when they're fitted properly. Like, let me demonstrate. So I'm gonna go ahead and put in the right ear. I'm gonna go ahead and put in my left ear. And if you fit them right, it literally feels like the same effect you'd get putting earplugs in. Now watch, I'm going to lift the wire over my head so it's behind my head, and then I can pull the little relief. It's like a little lasso, or whatever you want to call it. Pull it tight against your head. And you can see I just got the cable hanging on the back of my head. And now I can plug that into my amp or anything that's in my back pocket, or I can put a cable extension on it. Because I'm going to be honest, the cable on this is incredibly short. I would say it's only about 3 to 3.5 feet in length. I don't have the exact length, but it's definitely not long enough for a lot of applications. So if you find that you're sitting far away from your amplifier or something like that, you are going to need an extension cable. Also, each one of the IEMs does have the branding on it for Heir Audio, and it does clearly say 8.0 on them. And they also have this really nice wood veneer finish on the outside, so they don't just look like a hunk of plastic, and they don't look like really shiny metal like a lot of the IEMs. They're actually a very natural looking wood grain, and they look quite good when they're installed in your ear. Now to clean them, you can just disconnect the little ear cups, just pull them straight off, and then you can use the brush, this little brush that comes with it, to clean around the port. And then you can use the loop, the little loop. If earwax gets back in there in the port, you can insert it and pull the earwax out. I know that's disgusting, but you know what? Hey, if you got earwax, it's probably better that you have a way to get it out than to let it just keep building up in there. All right, now before I talk about the sound quality on these bad boys, I want to show you the amplifier that they sent. So in that case, they sent me the Rendition 1 amplifier. So if we open this up in the box, and again, I've already used it, and you pull it out, it's got a really nice carbon fiber finish on both sides. It's actually fairly lightweight for what it is, and you know, it's a little bit shorter than an iPhone and about 3 times as thick, and it's got an audio in and then a place for your headphones, and you literally just turn it to turn it on and turn it off, and it's got a very smooth knob on it. Now you'll notice there's no places for batteries, because this actually has an internal battery that you charge using the AC adapter. And to charge that battery takes about 2.5 hours, and you get about 12 hours of playtime out of it, which is really respectable considering how much power it's putting out. And it also comes with a short bridge cable, and it's a similar cable to what's on the IEMs themselves, but it's a very, very short version. All right, here you can see I have the Rendition 1 connected to my iPhone 5, and basically you just run the output into it and then your headphones out of the amp, turn the knob, you got your volume, and you can also adjust the volume on the phone too to get the right balance that you want. I noticed that with the amplifier you get a little bit more clear and strong bass than you do with the phone, but I found that the iPhone 5 actually already has a pretty good amp and DAC in it. But this amp right here would be more suited for devices that were a little bit lower powered, like some of the other cell phones and stuff out there. So I tried the Rendition 1 also with the output from my Objective DAC, and it actually sounded beautifully clear. There was no background noise. Even at 100% volume, there was no hiss, and that is fantastic, because some amplifiers, especially the cheap ones, will add a little bit of a hiss. That noise comes through when you crank them up all the way. So if you want a really, really clean amplified signal, the Rendition is a fantastic amp for the money to just charge up and throw in your pocket. But guys, the real star of this review is the IEMs themselves. These 8.0s are absolutely phenomenal. When I listened to them on the WA7 Fireflies, I was listening to everything. I was listening to rap, I was listening to country, to pop, I even listened to dubstep. Now, I wouldn't buy these if you're a big fan of dubstep. I found that dubstep, with its really, really fast-changing tight bass, these really didn't do it justice. It sounded good, but it didn't sound pristine, and I've heard better. But as far as listening to like rock and pop, and even some of the rap that I was listening to, the bass on these is so rich. They have a very, very warm sound profile to them. I would almost kind of compare them to my HE 500s by Hi-Fi Man as far as how the sound profile is without any EQ. But the perception of sound, the fact that when you have these plugged into your ears and you form a good seal, literally the sound is in your head. With headphones, you always kind of have that external sound is coming from somewhere else. With these, the sound is freaking in your head. And it uses your ear canal like a bass chamber. So, when you're hearing the bass, you're really hearing and feeling that bass. It's awesome. Now, I did find a little trick with these guys. When you put them in, it does sound a little bit like you're putting in an earplug, because the natural noise isolation of these is phenomenal. Even with them in, I can still hear the faint hum of all my fans on my computer, because my computer is incredibly loud. So I can still hear that a little bit. And of course, I can hear myself talk pretty clearly. And so the noise isolation isn't absolute. So I found a little trick. I have a cheap $10 pair of Lightning L1 earmuffs for shooting. These are basically to drown out the sound of like rifles and gunfire. So they have massive noise isolation capability. So I noticed when I put in the earbuds, I just put these on over them, and I'm not even kidding you. Right now, I can't hear anything. It's completely whisper silent. Now, earlier when I did this and I put these on, I'm actually having to like actively try to talk quiet, because I know I'll start yelling, because that's what you do when you can't hear yourself. The one thing I noticed was, after you wear this for a while, if you just turn the audio off and you're not playing anything and you just wear the earbuds in with this over your ears, you'll start to hear your heartbeat. You can hear your own heartbeat, because your hearing becomes so much more acute and sensitive after being devoid of sound for so long. And I noticed that when I was playing music, I was actually backing the volume down a little bit too, because I didn't need as much volume, and it sounds amazing. With no background noise, you hear absolutely everything. I was hearing stuff in pauses and songs and stuff. I could hear the actual equipment white noise that they were mixing and recording on. It's pretty epic. Now, of course, I found that these actually worked best when I was playing FLAC audio files and stuff like that, lossless audio formats. When I was playing my MP3s, even my 128 kbps MP3s, I noticed that you do notice something missing when you have a device in your ear like that that's a monitor that produces sound so accurately. You do hear artifacts, and you do hear some of that static and some of that distortion. But when I played the FLAC files, there's no other experience for it. It reminds me of back when I put my Sennheiser HD 800s on for the first time and cranked up my amplifier. I was like, wow, this is a unique sound profile like nothing I've heard before. These gave me that same kind of experience where I put them on and I was like, I've had earbuds before, like even some good earbuds that were over $100 that I listened to, and they sound great. You plug them into your iPhone, you plug them into your computer, they sound good, but they don't sound perfect. The cool thing about these, where you have 8 independent drivers in each ear, is you hear every little thing. When you have a bunch of instruments and vocals all going at the same time, it's like you can pick out every single beat of the drum, every strum of the guitar, everything is so separated that you can pick it all out. It's like a live performance. It's absolutely phenomenal. So I can see why these things are so expensive, because to get 8 drivers into these little things, is like a feat in itself. But just the fact that they're so perfectly calibrated that they can produce that level of sound is just mind-blowing to me. And honestly, with these in my ear coupled with the earmuffs, the shooting earmuffs over my head, honestly, that tops anything that I have. I don't have a single pair of headphones or anything that'll produce that kind of sound sitting in front of this computer from these amplifiers and DACs that I have here. Okay, so now there are a couple of cons with these. The cons, like I said, is the cable's a little bit too short. You definitely are going to want to get a cable extension. And I would try to get a high quality cable extension, because if you just go and put a crappy, noisy cable on there, it's going to pick up all kinds of distortion, electrical, EM distortion and stuff in your room. You're basically just wasting this very, very expensive cable that they put on here. The other thing I noticed is, even with every combination of the ear cups, I found the double ear cups to be the most comfortable. the little inner, and when I say ear cup, I'm talking about the little insert. But even so, after wearing these for more than an hour or two, you definitely start feeling a little bit of stress on your ear canal. Now, they do make aftermarket ones that you can put on here that are memory foam that I've read in several forums say will correct the problem. Or you can have professional inserts made where they actually mold. They make a piece that goes in your ear out of silicone or some other material that molds your inner ear canal, so it's a flawless fit. And honestly, I love these so much. I think that's the avenue I'm going to go, is I'm going to actually set up an appointment and go get fitted for custom inserts for these so that they fit my ear canals flawlessly. And realistically, I like these so much, I think I'm going to be using these in future live streams, like Tech Talk with Jay's 2 cents and stuff like that, because I like the idea that I'm not wearing a pair of headphones, and I like that the audio is isolated to my ear canal so it won't pick up on the microphone. I know sometimes when I wear my open back earphones, which are always the best sounding ones, like my HD 800s or HE 500s, if I get too close to the microphone, you'll get a little bit of an echo or a reverb. With these, since they're buried in your ear canal, you can be just jamming out, rocking out, laying in bed, put your ear against the microphone, it doesn't matter. Nobody around you can hear what you're listening to with these things in. And last but not least, and this isn't a con, this is actually a big pro, is these can reach an exceptional audio level. Oh my gosh. All my headphones I've had, I can crank those things up to the hilt, and they won't make me feel uncomfortable at all. I was able to get an uncomfortable listening level out of these things while it was still clear. Usually everything else when I try to push it hard distorts. These weren't. They were absolutely crystal clear all the way up to an uncomfortable listening volume. So as far as if I want something to be loud and clear, these are amazing. All right guys, well I'd like to hear your comments down below and your feedback. This is my first review of IEMs. But after using these, I'm completely blown away by them. So I think these might actually be my new favorites for just doing some, stuff sitting around the computer when I'm on cam. When I'm off cam, I do like how comfortable headphones are when you're wearing them. I really do. But these, as far as the audio quality, especially coupled with the earmuffs, I mean, just it's mind-blowing. I urge you to try them. If you guys get an opportunity to try these, definitely do. And take your time getting the right fit and the right cup on there. Because when I first got these and put them in my ears, I was like, dude, these sound like crap for $1,000. These would sound good for $30. For $1,000 bucks, no way. Once I got that seal perfect and I got the right cup combination and the right technique for getting it to seal on my ears, it's untouchable. It's just the way the bass and the mid sound is so clean. It's amazing. All right, guys, well, leave your comments down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you haven't seen my numerous other videos, I've reviewed several headphones and amplifiers and stuff like that. There'll be links to those down in the description if you're interested. If you have any questions, come over to Twitter at Barnacules, or if you leave a comment down below, I'll probably respond down there, but the comment system on YouTube is kind of so Twitter is usually where I do most of my social interactions. All right, guys, it's time to wrap this up and edit this video, which, yes, I will be editing with these in my ears, so I'm pretty excited about that. So, until next time. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please take a moment and subscribe to my channel. It helps me a lot. Also, come over to Twitter. I'm at Barnacules. I'm a real social guy. Also, if you have a couple of minutes, check out some of these many other videos. I made them myself.